new numbers seem to show that rape and other sexual assaults have also jumped in Syria. Lauren Wolf is one of the authors of a new dramatic report. She joins us from our New York bureau. Ms. Wolf, thanks so much for joining us. I read the report, and certainly you don't even know where to start, but I think we start with why this is happening. You know, in your report you say that it's a tool of control, intimidation, and humiliation. How widespread did you find it to be?
We're seeing it geographically spread across our map from the north to the south, the east to the west. We're seeing it affecting children as young as 7, girls and boys, men and women. About 80% of our reports are of rape of women, but 20% are of men. So it's really affecting everybody, geographically and demographically.
And I want to talk about that gender breakdown for a minute. Almost 80% for women, almost 20% for men. Women anecdotally has told us about the horrors that they've gone through, as you said, girls as young as 7. In terms of the men reporting sexual assaults, do you believe this to be underreported right now in terms of men actually being willing to say what has gone on?
I think the stigma is huge, whether it's for men or women, actually. And interestingly, a lot of the rape of men is taking place in detention. About 90% of the alleged perpetrators of the rapes of men are government perpetrators, and that's because it's happening in detention. So, you know, we're also not hearing about a lot of what's going on because we're just getting piecemeal what activists are able to get out of the country, whoever's willing to speak about it. You know, it's a very difficult documentation process.
And Ms. Wolf, what we just showed viewers was the fact that in your report you're saying that, again, about 4 out of every 5 attacks is being perpetrated by government forces, and only 1% perhaps by rebel forces. There is this really troubling category, though, where you have 17% is kind of unspecified. What kind of proof do you have that definitely the government forces are certainly the chief problem among many right now in Syria?
You know, the problem right now is that the Syrian government's not allowing journalists or human rights workers into the country. So we're doing the best we can with the information we can get. You know, I'm willing to bet that rape is happening on all sides. We certainly have reports that it's happening on all sides, but yes, the majority are allegedly government perpetrators. You know, and that could be skewed for a number of reasons. It could be, like I said, that the opposition forces are actually getting a lot of the information out about atrocities. It could also be the case that government perpetrators really are the majority. You know, researchers have found that time and again, government forces actually do commit the majority of rape in conflict.
You know, the anecdotes from the report are heartbreaking, and the quote is that a rape is a way to break the family. A lot of that comes from the fact that as many as 40% involve multiple attackers, a lot of it being done in just absolutely torturous ways, family members being made to witness the rape of their own family members. Can you describe for us, certainly, the trauma that this inflicts, you know, for many years to come for these families?
I can just give one anecdote. For example, you know, a psychiatrist working in Amman interviewed a family from Homs who said that they had been held hostage in their house. The 3 women in the house were raped in front of the father and the husband of one of the women. They were the men were tied up, forced to watch. The women then had their genitals burned with cigarettes. There's now a baby in the house, and when asked if that baby was from the rape, the woman and the whole family fell silent. You know, this is trauma that's going to affect multiple generations, men and women, children who've witnessed horrors, children possibly born of rape.
Just really unspeakable violence there. Ms. Wolf, we've been through this before in several conflicts around the world. As the rape indicates, in many instances, the majority of instances, there's little justice for these victims. How do we go forward now? I mean, we're trying to shed some light on the topic, but there is a certain helplessness, I'm sure, in these refugee camps right now and inside Syria itself.
You know, I do hear that there are efforts on the ground to help women and men who are survivors of sexualized violence, but there needs to be a lot more done. There needs to be more money, more coordinated effort, and I'm actually heading to the region soon to try to see, you know, what we can all be doing better. I think that the world is not paying attention to this crisis, and it's horrifying when every time after a war such as the Holocaust or what happened in Darfur or what happened in Rwanda or Bosnia, we always say we'll never forget, and now here we are forgetting as this is happening right now.
Okay, well, Ms. Wolf, we thank you for your time and shedding light on your important report. Thank you.